Hello learners, with today's greetings, I am Professor Naseeb Singh Gill, Department of Computer Science and Applications, Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak, and Director, Digital Learning Initiatives and Monitoring Cell of the University. We are aware of the fact that with the advent of Internet and ongoing digital transformations across all segments and in all walks of life, the access to information has become quite easy and handy. The entire world is moving fast towards digitalization of all kinds of resources. 21st century students learn in a global classroom, but not necessarily within four-wall classroom. Educators and learners of 21st century need to understand that the use of digital contents and devices will improve teaching and learning and thus enhance educational opportunities. The learners are now more inclined to find information by accessing the internet through mobile phones, smartphones, computers, or chatting with friends on social networking sites. So now let's step forward and discuss the first module of the program under Technology Supported Pedagogical Innovations, which is Cloud Computing Technology. First of all, let's learn what are the learning outcomes of this present module. At the end of this module, learners will be able to understand the economics of cloud and concept of cloud computing. Then essentials, attributes and characteristics of cloud computing. Working of a cloud computing. Computing service models. Cloud computing deployment models. And then benefits and limitations of cloud-based education. Then use of cloud computing in teaching learning process. One of the biggest challenges faced in providing education is number one, the lack of infrastructure. Number two, if available, then maintenance of that infrastructure and other issues, including procuring and maintaining a wide range of hardware and software, which require ample ongoing investment and the skills to support them. A solution to all these issues can be cloud computing. Now let's understand what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. Computing resources include networks, servers, storage, applications, and services. Alternatively, in the nutshell, cloud computing is a method of delivering IT services in which resources are retrieved from the internet through web-based tools and applications. It can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort. It provides high-level abstraction of computation and storage model. It is called cloud computing because the information being accessed is found in the cloud and does not require a user to be at a specific place to gain access to it. This type of system allows faculty and learners to work remotely. It has some essential attributes, characteristics, main features, service models, and deployment models. So let's first discuss essential attributes of cloud computing. Number one, on-demand self-service. A consumer can unilaterally provision computing capabilities automatically without requiring human interaction with each service provider. Number 2, heterogeneous access. Capabilities are available over the network and the access through standard mechanisms that promote use by heterogeneous thin or thick client platforms. Number 3, resource pooling. The provider's computing resources are pooled to serve multiple learners using a multi-tenant model. Number 4, measured service. Cloud systems automatically control and optimize resources. It will provide analyzable and predictable computing platforms. Rather than keeping files on a proprietary hard drive or local storage device, cloud-based storage makes it possible to save them to a remote database. As long as an electronic device has access to the web, it has access to the data and the software programs to run it. Now, let's discuss characteristics of cloud computing. Number 1, rapid elasticity. A key characteristics and benefit of cloud computing is rapid elasticity. For example, if a web application gets an unusual amount of traffic, more servers may be created to provide that service. Number 2, scalability. It's able to break complex workloads into pieces to be served across an incrementally expandable infrastructure. Number 3, virtual. Physical location and underlying infrastructure details are transparent to users. Number 4, available on demand or just in time. Cloud services are expected to be available on demand. A customer can typically create a new instance or a new customer relationship online at any time using a credit card. Number 4, resource pooling. Much of the cost advantage of cloud services comes from resource pooling. Statistically, most applications and services don't operate at their peak capacity most of the time, and different applications peak at different times. Number 5, efficient. Services-oriented architecture for dynamic provisioning of shared computing resources. Number 6, flexible. Cloud can serve a variety of workload types, both consumer and commercial. Number 7, accessible from a network. Cloud services are generally accessible from the public internet. Private cloud services would generally be accessible from anywhere within the enterprise. Now, let's understand as how a cloud works. Cloud computing provides a simple way to access servers, storage, database, and a broad set of application services over the internet. In simple words, you are using the internet to connect to a provider's database and rent these services on a per use basis and can access them at any time. You are simply logging into those systems so that you can use them from an internet connection. A cloud services platform owns and maintains the network connected hardware required for these application services, while you provision and use what you need via a web application. Now let's discuss cloud computing service models. Cloud computing is not a single piece of technology like a microchip or a cell phone. Rather, it is a system primarily comprised of three services: infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service. Software as a service is expected to experience the fastest growth, followed by infrastructure as a service. Software as a service involves the licensure of a software application to customers. Licenses are typically provided through a pay-as-you-go model or on demand. The capability provided to the customer is to use the provider's applications running on a cloud infrastructure. The applications are accessible from various client devices such as a web browser. The consumer does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure, including network, servers, operating systems, storage. Examples include Caspio, Google Apps, Salesforce, Nevio Cloud. Next is infrastructure as a service. It involves a method for delivering everything from operating systems to servers and storage through IP-based connectivity as part of on-demand service. The capability provided to the consumer is to provision processing, storage, networks, and other fundamental computing resources. The consumer is able to deploy and run arbitrary software which can include operating systems and applications. Examples include Amazon EC2, GoGrid, Island, Rackspace Cloud Servers, and Relia Cloud. Platform as a service is one of the three layers of cloud-based computing. Platform as a service is considered the most complex. It shares similarities with software as a service. The primary difference being that instead of delivering software online, it is actually a platform for creating software that is delivered via the internet. The capability provided to the consumer is to deploy onto the cloud infrastructure. Consumer created or acquire applications created using programming languages and tools supported by the provider. The consumer does not manage or control the underlying cloud infrastructure. Consumer has control over the deployed applications and possibly application hosting environment configurations. Examples include Windows Azure, Google App. Now let's talk about cloud computing deployment models or types of cloud computing. First of all, let's talk about private cloud. The cloud is operated solely for an organization. It may be managed by the organization or a third party and may exist on-premise or off-premise. Next is community cloud. The cloud infrastructure is shared by several organizations and supports a specific community that has shared concerns. It may be managed by the organizations or a third party and may exist on-premise or off-premise. Next, cloud is public cloud. The cloud infrastructure is made available to the general public or a large industry group, and it is owned by an organization selling cloud services. Next cloud is hybrid cloud. The cloud infrastructure is a composition of two or more clouds that we discussed, which includes private, community, or public clouds. Now let's take a stock of the benefits of cloud-based education. Number 1, access to application from anywhere. Number 2, 24/7 access to contents and infrastructure. The elegance of the cloud is that the user only requires a smartphone, a browser, and an internet connection with good bandwidth. The cloud offers low-cost, subscription-based model that can support more companies and organizations. Number 3, opportunities to education world and advanced research. Number 4, support for teaching and learning. In the past years, solutions such as Google's suite of educational tools have provided educational institutions with a free access to general classroom tools. Cloud applications such as Google Docs allow students to easily collaborate on assignments in an easy-to-use environment. Number 5, exposure of technology to teachers and learners. Cloud provides subscription-based access to the popular Office suite, which it offers for free to students and teachers. Number 7, increasing functional capabilities. Software free or pay per use. It neither needs any new training to its learners nor any licensing cost for software or application. It also allows centralized storage. Next, use of green technologies for safe environment. Next, offline use with need-based opportunities. Now let's look at the limitations of cloud-based education. First of these include, number 1, risks related to data protection, security and accounts management. Number 2, not all applications run in cloud. Number 3, adherence to standards. Number 4, security protection of sensitive data. Number 5, dissemination, politics, and intellectual property. Number 6, lack of confidence. Number 7, speed or lack of internet may affect work methods. And number 8, maturity of solutions. Now let's proceed towards discussing the use of cloud in teaching learning environment. In this sequence, let's first discuss about concept of virtual classroom on cloud. One of the interesting developments has been the advent of virtual classrooms in the cloud, which provides teachers with a paperless way to set up classes and courses, distribute material and assignments, and track and grade student progress from their desktop, browser, or smartphone. Next is virtual training labs on cloud. Cloud platforms can be a boon to professional education. For instance, IT training is traditionally associated with large investments in hardware and complex setup costs. However, specialized cloud platforms have provided a flexible, cost-effective, and easy-to-deploy alternative. The use of cloud computing and virtual classes in training brings huge benefits by cutting back hardware costs and complexity while providing an interactive experience that is not possible in traditional classroom setup. But thanks to cloud-based education, more and more people can now attend academic and professional courses. In recent years, we have seen the emergence of massive open online courses platforms, that is MOOCs platforms, which provide easy and affordable or sometimes free access to knowledge and training. I hope that you would have enjoyed the present module on cloud computing technology, which plays a very significant role in pedagogical innovations. We will join you soon with another module focused on technology supported pedagogical innovations. Thank you.